Hello, good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, whenever you have logged on to do your work. I wanted to make a video because one, I know you miss my face, and two, I just feel like if we're not going to get to see each other, we might as well talk. So I'm going to talk now. Send me a video of you talking later, or maybe we can get on a group chat of some way, of a Zoom call, and we can talk about life and things and English. And anyway, I wanted to go ahead and make a video to kind of let you know how online learning opportunities is going to work in AP English Language. I know that a lot of you are, well, all but I think a couple of you are signed up for the AP exam, and so you're kind of worried about where that's going to go. And I have a lot of information about the AP exam for you, and I will get to that here in just a minute. But first, I want to start off with letting you know how things are going to be situated on the Google Classroom and how I'm going to get stuff to you every week. So you are all already on the Remind, and so I'm going to keep information coming into the Remind at all times, just to be like, hey, I have looked at some of your essays that you've done. You want to go check that out, or I've posted a new video I think you would really like, or maybe I'll just send out some random questions to think about. You know, the Remind will be the easiest way for me to get to you during the school day. I will try not to, well, I won't send you any work after 3:30 p.m. on the weekdays, and I promise I won't bug you on the weekends unless I absolutely need to. So let's look at the Google Classroom real quick so I can show you how it's going to be set up. And you probably found this either on your Remind or on the Google Classroom, so you could have already seen it, but let's just look at it. So here's mine on my computer. This is on your, well, this is what my side looks like for your AP Language Classroom. You can, I can't now because I have your stuff posted or scheduled to post in the morning, but all your stuff will be here in your, oh, that's all the work I'm working on. Anyway, yours will all be here in the stream, so you'll be able to see everything there. But the easiest way for you to get to all your work for the week that we're doing in the class is if you go to classwork, and on the left-hand side, you see the topics. I'm going to have them there labeled with the week. So like this week is March 23rd through 27th. So if you click on that, that's going to have all the information and the learning activities for the week. So there will always be one labeled weekly outline, and that will have all the information in it. And then there will also be this video each week where I go through kind of everything. So this one's going to be a little bit longer than normal because it has a little bit more information. But usually that's just going to be me going through the weekly outline and kind of telling you a little bit about your assignments and what you need to do. So that's kind of how to work the classroom during this time away. I have everything set to not be graded. I have everything set to be due on the Friday of the week. That's just to give you a sense of structure. So you will know this is the stuff that's going to be done this week, and it needs to be done by Friday. Okay. So let's move on to what our weekly outline for this week looks like for AP Language. So inside the outlines, you will find that I have broken it down into a few sections. There's essay, video, discussion post, writing assignment, long term, and then something fun. Something fun. Get excited. But that's at the bottom of the post, so we got to start at the top with essay. So every week I'm going to give you an essay to read, just like we would read in class, like we read from our book. But I have pulled them from, you know, the interwebs, something that I think would be interesting for you and something different that we haven't hit yet to work on with AP Language. So this week I have... Anyway, sorry. Woo, I just kind of spaced for a second. Sorry, it's late at night because I put this off to the last minute. I was like, you know, it would be great. It'd be really great if I filmed videos. And here I am at 9:51 at night filming videos. All right, anyway, so the essay that I have picked for y'all this week is called How to Tame a Wild Tongue, and it is by Gloria Anzaldúa. I'm sorry I butchered that name. I did. You know I butcher words sometimes. Anyway, I really enjoyed this essay. So Gloria was born in Harlingen, that's in the Rio Grande Valley, which is kind of cool because that's where Doggo was born. Anyway, she was born there in 1942, and she was an American scholar and a feminist, and she really spent her life exploring and talking about her culture, her Hispanic culture, and the marginal and in-between and mixed cultures, just kind of the people that didn't really feel like they fit one way or another because they were kind of in between. And so her being, her family being from Mexico and she being born in the United States, and just kind of like that in between of not quite fitting. She is best known for her book called Borderlands, when she talks about kind of being on that border in between two cultures and feeling in between two languages even. She believed that one day that we would all become this mixed race and there would be no separate races. And unfortunately, she didn't live to see that because she died in 2004. But as I found this essay and decided to assign it to y'all, I really connected with it. And not because I kind of feel like I'm caught in between two cultures. Guys, I'm as white can be. My culture is white. Like, that's what I feel like most of the time. That sounds horrible. But like, seriously, bread was probably made after my skin tone. But that's also my culture too. Straight from English. Anyway, now this has gotten kind of awkward. But why this was super interesting to me and why she spoke to me in this essay and then also in some other stuff that I saw from her is because my children are mixed race. They have their Hispanic father, and then they have their white bread me, and I know that as they grow up, they're going to feel some of these things because Doggo's mother only speaks Spanish to them and to anybody, and so does a bunch of his family. And then she comes home to me, who can count to 10, and that's about it in Spanish. So I know that they're going to have some of these feelings, and I like to know that there are women, especially women, people, yes, but women that they can look up to that have had these same feelings, and that could speak to them. So that's one of the reasons that I picked this essay and thought it would be great for y'all. So when you read it, I want you to know that there are Spanish words in it that you may not understand, but you can make it through. But some of you may definitely understand and definitely connect with this even more than others. So that's the essay that I have for y'all this week. How to Tame a Wild Tongue. Very good essay. I hope you enjoy it. Now, when you're done reading it, there are discussion questions that I have posted onto the Google Classroom. So if you feel like going on there and pulling some information from your brain and really connecting to that text, I encourage you to go ahead and answer them. Anything that you do, any work that you post and complete inside that Google Classroom, and send it to me, I will look at it, I will comment on it, and it'll be just as if you gave some work to me in the classroom and I was right face to face with you. The second thing is every week you're going to be given a video for you to watch. And some of the times the video will have to do with the essay, and some of the times the video may be just something else that I think would be interesting for you. This week, actually, the video and the essay work hand in hand. So the video is a TED Talk by Michelle Navarro, and it is called Moving Beyond the Chicano Borderlands. Sorry, I'm trying to say Chicago. Let me get some water. Anyway, Moving Beyond the Chicano Borderlands. So it is based off of her life, and she says, fourth or fifth generation here in America. So she's a little further along than Gloria was, but she talks about how she feels being caught between cultures and how she learned and was very much influenced by the people before her. She also explores how to create and become one with your own cultural identity to really identify with it. Obviously, she is going to speak a lot better than I am on all of this, but she actually quotes Anzaldúa the whole time throughout, and so it's a really good connection video to go with your essay that you are going to read, hopefully. And I really suggest while you're watching this video that you do take notes. You know how in class that if we watch TED Talks or any kind of videos that I want you to take notes over, you will take notes, and I really do encourage you to do that. So guys, I realize that this video is already 10 minutes long, so I need to hurry. So I wanted to keep it under 15. So that's the video for this week. Once you go on and read the essay and watch the video, you will see that I have a discussion post, and that discussion post is going to be easy for you to do if you did read the essay and watch the video, because it has to do with the two of them. It asks you how you felt that Anzaldúa and Navarro presented their feelings on cultural identity and how you identify with your own cultural identity. So we can get into how they presented themselves to their audience, and then kind of how we feel about ourselves. So I think it'll be a great time for us to be able to talk together and just work together. The online discussions like that are really going to become the core of our class time, because that's where we can speak back and forth through our writing to each other. And if we're all on at similar times, it'll be almost simultaneously like we're in the classroom together. So I really do encourage you to do that, because I miss y'all and we're so far away all the time. Anyway, so let's move on to the next thing that you will find in the weekly outline, which is going to be your writing assignment. Now, this week's writing assignment is kind of like a long-term assignment as well, but it's not mandatory. None of this is mandatory, guys, but this one is something that I just really encourage all of you to do. And there's going to be a lot more in the weekly outline about why I feel this is important. But what I am saying is that for this week's writing assignment, I think that you should start a journal or a diary about your time in this quarantine during this global pandemic that we're living in. This is going to be in history books, guys. This is insane. This is something that we've never lived through before. And people years from now, my grandchildren, your grandchildren, are going to ask you about this time, and you're going to want to tell them. And if you have a memory like mine, you're not going to remember. But no, you yourself are going to become, and anything that you write about it is going to become a primary source for researchers. And what I mentioned in the weekly update, or I'm sorry, the weekly outline, the weekly outline is the Diary of Anne Frank. I read it. I loved it as a kid. I was like, that's so cool that she lived this horrific experience but wrote about it, and now we can just read firsthand what happened to her. And that's what yours will be if you create a journal. It's a firsthand experience of what you're going through, and I think that that is great. And on the weekly outline, you will see that I've given you some ideas of things that you could just start to write about. But if you already write a journal or keep a diary of some sort, that's great. Keep it going. If you don't and you think it's a good time to start, go for it. That is something personal though, and I never ever have to read it. But if you do want to share it with me, I did create something on the classroom for you to go and upload it. And you can be like, hey, does this look like a great journal entry? And I'll be like, dude, that looks awesome. And then you can just keep going. But you could also just write it down in your own personal thing, or you can just not do it if you don't feel like it. But I think it would be great for all of us. All right, so next, long-term assignment. So this is the time I want to talk about AP exam. We've gotten word from the AP College Board that the AP exams will still be taking place this year, but they will not be taking place in the school. They will be taking place at home. And with that being said, they are going to be 45-minute long tests. And what that means for English is that they will only be one free response question, meaning there will be no multiple choice questions on your AP exam. There will just be one essay question. Does that worry anybody else? That worries me. It worries me a lot, just because I know y'all are freaked out so much about your writing, but honestly, you shouldn't be, because y'all have really grown as writers throughout this year. But that means that this test is going to be unlike anything we've seen before in AP, and that's what really scares me. But so is the times, right? We're doing everything different right now. So with that being said, you know that there are 3 different types of free response questions. And at this point, College Board has not told us which type of free response question will be chosen for the exam. They said they will let us know by April 3rd. So this week, we're just going through and we're saying we don't know. Hopefully next week, I will be able to have an answer for you. And then we will be able to move forward with that. But with that being said, I have given you an essay prompt for this week, but it is in the long-term section because it is for the AP exam. And if you don't do it this week and you want to do it next week, that is fine, because I just want you to prepare for the exam. So I have given you a prompt. It is shared on the classroom. Give it a go. I do want you to do it just like you would do any other process essay. I want you to free write. I want you to brainstorm. I want you to outline. I want you to rough draft. I want you to revise and edit. Give me a final copy, okay? If you choose to do it like a timed writing, do it with 40 minutes, just like we normally would do in class. And when you're done, send it to me, and I will give you comments. I will give you everything that I would normally give you in class. If you want to talk about it over a Zoom chat, or you want to talk about it over the phone, you can call me. That's great. Remember, I am just here for you 100%. Now, fun times. Sorry, this one's super lame. But this week's fun activity is a discussion post, and I have asked you the question, the 3 questions actually. If you could choose to be in quarantine with one literary character, who would it be and why? And then the next 2 are, if there was someone you would not want to be, so a literary character you would not want to be quarantined with, who would it be and why? And the last one is, who would you not want to roll up on in the toilet paper aisle while there is 1 roll left and you really need it? So, I went ahead and I've answered these questions. And I'm gonna go ahead and give you mine because I think that's fun, right? So, first, the person that I would want to be in quarantine with, and you will catch a theme here. I would want to be in quarantine with Mrs. Weasley. Mrs. Molly Weasley, because she is a kind soul. I feel like she would cook for me. She would clean. She's a funny lady. I would have a grand old time with her. If something were to happen, she'd have my back. Great woman, jolly, wonderful time, right? So I could see nothing wrong with that situation. She seems great. Now, a character that I would not want to be in quarantine with, and guys, you would think I would just pick some normal person from Harry Potter, but no, I decided I would not want to be in quarantine with Kreacher the house elf. He's just evil. He's rude. He's a house elf, so he's not good to look at, all right? He's rude. He's mean. He's vengeful. I feel like that would just be a horrible time. I couldn't even have good conversation with him, right? So if I would think of some of the other evil characters from the story, at least I could have some kind of decent conversation with them. But for him, I feel like I just wouldn't want to be around. So I picked Kreacher. And the last one, who would I not want to fight for the last roll of toilet paper? I put Bellatrix Lestrange, just because I feel like I would be a little scared of her. And she'd probably just win. Anyway, so that was my fun for the week. And that was also the end of my weekly outline, and I did not keep it to 15 minutes. It went to 20 minutes. So if you've sat here and watched this for 20 minutes long, that means you really do miss me and you really do love me, and I appreciate it. Anyway, if at any time you have any questions about what I have posted for your learning activities, please let me know. I am here for you Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 3:30. I will have my phone on and my computer pulled up, and I will be ready to answer your questions or to talk to you. I'm here for you. Remember that my email address is jpena@vvisd.org. I'm also there on the classroom. You have my Remind, and you have my cell phone number if you really, really need me. Anyway, so have a wonderful, wonderful week, and hopefully I will come and give you another video maybe sometime this week, like a little update on how things are going, just because I miss you. Anyway, love y'all.